Hi everyone, welcome to another Terry Talk. Switching gears this week, want to talk a little bit about mental health at work and predominantly around stress and anxiety. Last year, the US Surgeon General issued its first ever report outlining the foundational role that companies can play in promoting and protecting mental health. It's a huge issue. The World Health Organization also released a groundbreaking report last year with recommendations on how to improve mental health in the workplace. Big deal happening when you've got these two entities taking a look at this issue. A study found that the cost to the global economy around anxiety and depression in organizations around $1 trillion US a year, huge. And in 2022, just a year ago, a workplace survey found that over 90% of employees experience some degree of mental health challenges that will impact their work. Huge deal. So came across an article recently, thanks to Sandy Jensen over at St. Joseph's Healthcare London here in Ontario, that flagged this on LinkedIn. A fellow by the name of Josh Hammonds was reintroducing or bringing to our awareness the importance of taking breaks in meetings. Thought this was brilliant. Basically, we have to stop scheduling back-to-back meetings. And for folks like Sandy in healthcare and others, you're just jammed. Your whole day is just one meeting after another. Your brain needs time to decompress, to clear itself out after a meeting. So Josh Hammonds talked about a study done by Microsoft, I believe it was. And what they did was they did some EEG, looking at brainwave activity in the brains. They took two groups. One group, both groups sat through 4 meetings back to back, but one group was allowed to have 10-minute breaks between those meetings. And what the data showed, the brain activity showed, was the group that was allowed to experience that 10-minute reset had a lot less stress. The conclusion that those that transition from one meeting to the next was compounded. The stress was just compounded. Why? Because as you're decompressing from one, as you're sort of trying to wrap up what's happening in one meeting, your brain's already moving into the challenges that are right around the corner from you in the next meeting. And without any downtime, your brain just goes into overload. This whole notion talking about how much switch tasking is stressful. Switching from one task to the next is a stressful event. So the brain needs to close itself off before it can start on another topic. And, so people are always thinking about the next meeting when they're ending one. And if you don't have a gap in there, big trouble. So takeaway, give yourself 15 minutes. Instead of an hour-long meeting, make it 45. Hard stop. Go for a walk. Remove yourself from your workplace. Shake it out. Go, clear your head. Do whatever. Get a reset. We think we're being efficient, right? All these meetings, bang, bang, bang. But we're not. We're actually taking away from our brain's ability to think clearly. So not efficient as we might like to think it is. Remember, stress creates cortisol. Cortisol impacts our thinking. Putting a break between your meetings help you feel more restored, more creative, more productive. Which reminds me of a talk I did about a year ago. Back and take a look at it. But take a look at this one, Harvard Business Review 2005. A fellow by the name of Edward Hollowell talked about something called attention deficit trait, which is really that when our brains are just overwhelmed with all the events that are going on, our brain just goes in overload and short circuits itself. So a couple things to do about ADT. No surprise here. To keep the brain clear, to help make sure that it's operating effectively. So connections, positive emotions, connectivity with others, hard to do in today's world, but connection's so important. I really champion that. Taking care of your brain. This is all the diet and exercise things, taking a break, healthy habits keeps the brain crystal clear. Organizing yourself, making those to-do lists at the beginning of every day, going through those, very helpful. Set aside some time for some downtime. And when you feel yourself, the last thing, when you feel yourself kind of spinning out of control, when it's kind of like the whole world's going crazy, slow down, take that break again, get up from your desk, move around, do an easy task, do something that's mindless, go for a walk, whatever. This is going to help clear the brain. So a couple of ideas there. Reduce those meetings. Let's not make them back to back. Insert some breaks and take a break yourself. Love to hear your comments on this one. Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.